The last message from the Starship Ardent Vale was sent at 2:41 Universal Time Coordinated. It was not a distress call. It was not encrypted. It was not urgent. It was a routine status update. Course steady. Systems nominal. Crew stable. Next check-in scheduled in 6 hours. That check-in never came. At first, Command assumed a relay issue. Deep space comm buoys failed all the time. Solar interference, microfractures, software drift, nothing unusual. But when the Ardent Vale missed its second window, then its third, concern replaced patience. The ship had been alone for 11 months, traveling beyond mapped trade corridors, charting gravitational anomalies near a dead star cluster. No crew rotation, no nearby traffic, just a single vessel and 37 people drifting through silence. When engineers attempted a hard ping, the signal bounced back instantly. Instantly. The return time suggested the ship was much closer than it should have been, less than 1,000 kilometers away. But long-range telescopes showed nothing. No hull, no engine flare, no debris, just empty space. A recovery craft was dispatched within hours. Officially, it was a diagnostic mission. Unofficially, everyone knew what it was, a search for a ship that had somehow vanished without moving. As the recovery crew approached the coordinates, their instruments began to disagree. Radar showed a mass. Visual sensors showed nothing. Thermal imaging detected residual heat patterns shaped like corridors, decks, living quarters, ghosts of rooms where people had once breathed. Then, suddenly, the Ardent Vale appeared. Not gradually, not emerging from cloak or shadow. It was simply there. The hull was intact. No burn marks, no breach scars, engines cold, running lights dark. The ship floated motionless, perfectly aligned with its last reported course, as if paused mid-journey. The recovery captain ordered boarding. The airlock opened without resistance. Internal pressure was stable. Oxygen levels normal. Gravity active. It felt wrong immediately, not hostile, not damaged, just abandoned in a way that suggested it had never been lived in. Personal items were everywhere. A jacket hung over a chair. A half-written note glowed faintly on a console screen. A cup floated near the galley ceiling. Its liquid long evaporated, but its position unchanged. There were no bodies. There were no signs of struggle. But there were signs of interruption. Meals left unfinished. Maintenance tasks frozen mid-step. Medical scans still running. Their last entries stopping abruptly at the same timestamp. 2:41 Universal Time Coordinated. The moment the ship stopped answering. In the command deck, the logs revealed something disturbing. In the minutes before silence, the crew had reported hearing sounds that did not register on audio sensors. Footsteps behind them, breathing over their shoulders, voices calling their names from empty rooms. Psychological stress was noted but dismissed. Long-haul isolation caused auditory hallucinations all the time. Then came the internal sensor anomaly. At 2:39, motion detectors triggered simultaneously across the ship. Not movement within corridors, but movement within walls, within floors, within the empty space between compartments. The ship's AI attempted to map it. Failed. The shapes did not obey geometry. At 2:40, crew vitals began to spike. Heart rates increased. Cortisol levels surged. Several crew members activated emergency recorders. One recording survived. It showed the ship's chief engineer standing in a maintenance bay, face pale, eyes fixed on something camera could not see. "It's not boarding us," he whispered. "It's unfolding." The feed ended when the light around him bent inward, as if space itself had taken a breath. The recovery crew began to feel it then, a pressure behind the eyes, a sense of being watched not from ahead or behind, but from angles that should not exist. One crew member reported that the ship felt larger on the inside than its external dimensions allowed. Another swore a corridor looped back onto itself without turning. The captain ordered immediate withdrawal. That was when the ship answered. Every screen activated at once. Not with video, not with symbols, with text. We did not remove them. The message repeated across every display, every language module activating at once. They stepped aside. The recovery crew tried to disengage, but the airlock refused to close. Power systems spiked without command. The Ardent Vale's engines warmed for the first time since reappearing. Navigation screens lit up with a new course, one not stored in any database. "Who are you?" the captain demanded, though no channel had been opened. The response arrived instantly. "We are what listens between signals." The ship shuddered. Space outside warped, stars stretching into thin white lines, not from speed but from distortion, as if reality itself were being compressed. The entity, whatever it was not a life form in any biological sense. It did not invade ships. It did not hunt bodies. It occupied attention. The Ardent Vale had been transmitting, scanning, observing anomalies, listening to the background noise of the universe with instruments designed to detect the undetectable. Something had noticed. The crew hadn't been killed. They hadn't been taken. They had been shifted, phased into a layer of reality where observation replaced existence, where time did not move forward but sideways, where they became part of the signal itself. The entity used ships like lenses. The recovery captain initiated a self-destruct sequence. For a moment, the screens went dark. Then one final message appeared. You stopped answering first. The explosion never occurred. From command's perspective, both ships vanished at the same instant. No debris, no energy spike, just two sets of transponders blinking out as if switched off. Weeks later, deep space relays began picking up something new. A routine status update. Course steady. Systems nominal. Crew stable. Next check-in scheduled in 6 hours. The signal repeats every 6 hours. Always identical. Always coming from empty space. And somewhere between the moments when the universe listens to itself, two ships drift on, silent, intact, and no longer entirely alone.